Do you feel nervous speaking English in meetings? Don't know what to say, how to interrupt politely, or how to sound professional? Today, we'll practice real English you can actually use at work.
Hello, wonderful learners, and a huge welcome back to English Boost Studio. This is the place where we make learning English feel easy, fun, and absolutely achievable for everyone. I'm your host, Emily, and I'm just so happy you're here with us today.
Good morning, Emily. Yes, I am ready, but I am still a little nervous about speaking up.
I understand. It's perfectly normal to feel that way. Just remember to speak slowly and clearly. Think of meetings as conversations with a bit more structure. That might help. Now, let's look at the agenda. What is the first item for discussion today?
Let me see. According to the agenda, we are going to review the project updates, then talk about our upcoming deadlines, and finally, we will share and discuss our next steps.
That sounds like a solid plan. Okay, I will get us started. In a clear meeting voice. Good morning, team. Let's begin our weekly update meeting. I will share my update first, and then Paul will share his update with everyone.
Oh, right. That's my cue. I should take a deep breath. Okay, I can do this.
You absolutely can. Just speak from your notes.
Good morning, everyone. This week, my main focus was working on the new website report.
That is a great way to start. Very direct.
Thank you. I managed to finish the first draft of the report just yesterday. I plan to send it out for review later today.
Perfect. That was short and very clear. Well done.
Thanks, Emily. Should I add something at the end to encourage feedback, like saying any feedback is welcome?
Yes, that is a very polite and professional thing to do. A common phrase is, please let me know if you have any feedback. It invites collaboration.
I see. So I could say, I will send the report for review today. Please let me know if you have any feedback.
Excellent. That sounds very natural. Now, what if during your update you needed to inform the team about a problem or a delay? How would you approach that?
That is a good question. I'm not sure. I would not want to sound like I'm complaining or making excuses.
A good approach is to be honest, but also calm and solution oriented. For example, you could say, I faced a small issue with the data file, but I am currently working on a fix.
Oh, I like that. It acknowledges the problem but immediately shows that I am taking action to resolve it. It sounds positive and proactive.
Exactly. It's much better than saying something like, I can't do it because of a problem. Instead, I'm working on it demonstrates responsibility and a team player attitude.
Right. It shows that I am not just giving up, but actively trying to find a solution. Sometimes during meetings, I also need to ask questions, but I'm never quite sure of the best way to do it without interrupting.
That is an important skill. It's very easy. You can simply say, I have a question about the report, or can I ask something about the timeline? To make it even more polite, you can add please.
So, can I ask something, please? Would be perfectly fine.
Absolutely. That is a very common and respectful way to ask for the floor. And what if someone explains something and you don't fully understand?
That happens to me sometimes. I worry about asking them to repeat it.
Never worry about that. It is much better to ask for clarification. You can say, sorry, could you explain that point again? Or, I'm not sure I understand. Could you give a quick example?
That is very helpful. I will try to use those phrases next time. Emily, can we move on and start with the design team's update now?
Of course. Paul, this is also a good opportunity for you to practice active listening. Pay attention to the verbs and phrases they use.
Okay, I will listen carefully.
Great. So for the design update, this week our team completed the homepage layout. The client reviewed it and liked the proposed color scheme, but they asked for a simpler navigation menu. We plan to finish implementing those changes by this Friday.
I see. You used specific words like completed for what was done, asked for the client's feedback, and planned to finish for the next step.
You noticed correctly. Those are excellent action verbs to use in meeting updates. So you could similarly say, I completed the first draft, or I plan to review the feedback tomorrow.
That makes it sound very professional and clear. Emily, I have noticed people often mention action items at the end of meetings. What exactly does that term mean?
Action items simply refer to the specific tasks or things that we need to do after the meeting is over. Each person might have their own. For example, you might say, my action item is to update the report by Thursday.
Oh, that is very clear. So it's a formal way of saying my next task. And at the very end of meetings, people often say things like to summarize or to wrap up.
Yes, wrap up is a common business phrase that means to finish or conclude something. So, let's wrap up the meeting means let's finish the meeting. You did a really good job today, Paul. You spoke clearly and confidently.
Thank you, Emily. I felt a bit more confident this time, especially with your guidance.
That is wonderful to hear. Every meeting is good practice. I sometimes even record myself speaking on my phone to listen back and check my pronunciation later.
That's a smart idea. It must really help you hear how you sound and catch any small mistakes.
It does. Sometimes I catch myself saying think, but it sounds a bit like tink. But it's okay. Everyone makes small pronunciation mistakes sometimes.
That is true. We are all learning. Okay, so the next item on our schedule is the daily stand-up meeting, right?
Ah, yes, the daily stand up. It's that very short meeting where everyone gives a quick update. It's usually just 1 or 2 minutes per person, and we typically answer three simple questions.
Right. The three questions are, what did you do yesterday? What will you do today? And are there any blockers or problems? Should we practice?
Let's do it. You can go first this time.
Okay. Yesterday, I finished checking the monthly sales report for any errors. Today, I will start writing the executive summary based on that report. And no, I do not have any blockers at the moment.
That is perfect. Short, direct, and easy to understand. That's the whole idea of a stand up, to be quick and clear.
Can I also use phrases like I'm working on during a stand-up?
Of course, that is very natural. For example, I'm working on the new client presentation today. And what if you actually do need help with something?
Then I could say, I need help with, or I'm waiting for, something like, I need help with the formatting in this document.
Perfect. Sometimes in these fast stand ups, people speak very quickly. If you miss a word, it's completely normal to ask them to repeat it.
What should I say in that situation?
You can simply say, sorry, what was that last part? Or could you repeat the deadline you mentioned? It's polite and ensures you have the right information.
Okay, that sounds easy enough. I will remember that. Communication is definitely more important than pretending to understand everything perfectly.
Exactly right. After the stand up, it's common to write a quick note in the team chat to summarize your update.
Oh, like a short message.
Yes, exactly. In our project chat, you might write something like completed draft report, in progress data review, next finalize slides.
I see. So it's the same information, but in an even shorter written form. That makes sense for keeping everyone informed asynchronously.
Precisely. At work, short and clear messages save everyone time. Speaking of messages, what's a good way to ask a coworker for help via chat?
Hmm. I might just write, Hi, are you free? But I suppose that could be more polite.
For a work context, it's often nicer to say something like, Hi, name, do you have a minute when you're free? Or, can you please help me with this file when you have a chance?
Yes, adding please and being a bit more specific does sound more polite. And when someone helps me, how should I thank them properly?
Thanks so much for your help is always great. Or you can say, I really appreciate your help with this file. The word appreciate shows a deeper level of thanks.
Appreciate. Yes, that means to be thankful for it. I really appreciate your help. Sounds very sincere. Oh, I just got a message notification from our manager.
What does it say?
It says, let's have a quick sync at 3 p.m. today.
A quick sync just means a short, informal meeting to catch up and synchronize our information. It's to make sure everyone is on the same page.
On the same page, I really like that expression. It means everyone understands the situation the same way, right?
That's exactly what it means. I feel like we use a lot of these small, useful phrases in English meetings.
We really do. Let's review a few of the most useful ones.
Okay, phrases like, let's get started, let's move on to the next topic. That's a good point. I agree. I see your point. And finally, let's wrap up.
Those are so common. I hear them in almost every meeting. They really help the conversation flow smoothly from one point to the next.
They do. They're like conversational signposts. Now, what if someone asks you a question in a meeting and you need a moment to think before answering?
I would probably just stay silent and look nervous.
A better way is to acknowledge the question and buy yourself a moment. You can say, let me think about that for a moment. Or, that's a good question. Let me check my notes quickly.
Oh, that is good. It gives me time to breathe and organize my thoughts without pressure. It is fine to pause.
Absolutely. Another situation, sometimes I have an idea I want to suggest, but I'm afraid it might sound silly.
That is a very normal feeling. You can introduce your idea gently by saying, I have a small idea, or maybe we could try, for example, maybe we could try a different layout for the introduction.
That sounds friendly and open to discussion, not like you are forcing your idea. How about when you need to give your opinion on something during a discussion?
For opinions, I could use phrases like, I think, or in my opinion, or even from my point of view.
Perfect. For example, in my opinion, we need to allocate more time for the testing phase. That is a professional way to share your view.
And what if I agree with someone, but only partially? I do not want to sound like I fully disagree.
You can express that nuance by saying, I partly agree, or that's true, but we also need to consider the budget implications. It shows you're thinking critically.
That sounds very balanced and professional. It seems like that meeting went very well overall. You did a great job, Paul. Your update was clear and you sounded confident.
Thank you. I tried to remember all of your tips, and it really worked. I even used the phrase, please let me know if you have any feedback.
I heard you use that. It was very polite. Now it is time for lunch. Do you usually eat here in the office or do you go outside?
I usually go outside with a few coworkers. It's a good chance to relax and have a casual chat about non-work things.
That sounds nice. Chatting in English during lunch is also excellent practice for everyday conversation.
It absolutely is. You can talk about simple things like food, weekend plans, hobbies, or family. What is a polite way to invite a colleague to join you for lunch?
Something casual like, do you want to grab lunch together? Or a bit more formal, would you like to join us for lunch?
I like grab lunch. It sounds very natural and casual, which is perfect for lunchtime. And if I'm busy and cannot join,
You can politely decline by saying, thanks for the invitation, but I have some work to finish up. Maybe I can join you tomorrow.
that is a polite and friendly way to say no while leaving the door open for another time. Paul, do you ever worry about using the wrong word at work? I sometimes want to sound professional, but not too stiff or formal.
That is a very common feeling. The key thing to remember is that at work, being polite and clear is far more important than using complicated vocabulary.
You're right. I've noticed that native speakers often use quite simple words, but they use them in the right way and in the right context.
Exactly. Phrases like, let's check the data, or let's see what happens, or I think we should are all simple, clear, and effective.
I like that. English at work does not need to be complicated. By the way, after we come back from lunch, we will have a quick review meeting focused on the report.
Another meeting? It seems like there are many.
Just a short one, I promise. It will be a good chance for you to practice giving a summary of your part. What is the best way to start a summary?
You can start by saying, to summarize, or here's a quick summary of my progress. Then list the main points in order. Keep it brief.
For example, first, we finished the draft. Second, we are incorporating feedback. Finally, we plan to send the final version by Friday.
Oh, that's easy to follow. Simple and clear. Again, I'm noticing that simple and clear is your favorite piece of advice.
Because it's true. Good professional English is often about being simple, clear, and polite.
I will remember that. Let me repeat it. Simple, clear, polite.
Perfect. Okay, the review meeting will start in about 10 minutes. Are you ready?
I'm ready. When it's my turn, I will remember, start with a greeting, give my concise update, and end with what I will do next.
Got it. Let's do a quick practice run. I will pretend to be the manager. Paul, could you please share your update on the report?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. This morning, I reviewed the updated data and everything looks correct. My next step is to update the main report with this new data, and I will send it out by the end of today. That's all from my side.
Excellent. That was short, polite, and complete. Then the manager would likely say, "Thank you, Paul," and move on to the next person.
That seems straightforward. I can do that. Sometimes I hear people say, from my side, or on my end. What do those phrases actually mean?
They both essentially mean "for me" or "from my perspective." It's a common style in business English. So, "that's all from my side" is a professional way to say, "that's all I have to report."
Ah, I understand. And how do I politely ask another person to speak next after I finish?
You can say something like, "Now I'll hand it over to Sarah," or "Sarah, would you like to share your update next?" It helps transition the conversation smoothly.
That does sound professional. I will try to use that in our next video call. Speaking of video calls, sometimes on Zoom the sound cuts out and I don't know what to say.
That happens to everyone, so don't panic. You can say, "Sorry, I think you might be on mute," or "I think we lost your audio for a second."
Yes, I hear those phrases often. I've also heard people say you're breaking up when the internet connection is poor.
Right, that means the audio is cutting in and out. What about if you join a call a few minutes late?
I would just apologize simply. Sorry, I'm late. I was finishing up another meeting. Then I would listen quietly to catch up on the topic.
That's perfect. And when you need to leave a call, a simple, "Thanks everyone, have a great day," is friendly and polite.
Understood. Well, another meeting is done, and you spoke perfectly again.
Thank you, Paul. I feel like I gain a little more confidence every time we do this.
That's great to hear. Tomorrow, we can talk about the final part, reading reports and writing summaries.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it already.
Just don't stay up too late reading reports again tonight. Get some rest.
I will try not to. I'll see you tomorrow, Paul. Have a good evening.
You too, Emily. See you tomorrow.